Morning, everyone. Praised be Jesus and Mary. I'm Albert Maestre, and I finished my Master of Arts in Education major in Teaching English Communication Arts at Lourdes College, Cagayan de Oro City. At this time, I will be presenting to you my research entitled Effectiveness of Collaborative Learning Approach with Pop Culture and Classical Materials in Enhancing Writing Quality of Senior High School Students. And here is the rationale of my study. Popular culture is useful to second language teaching and learning. However, there are no empirical studies that substantiate its significance as a tool in a collaborative learning approach towards enhancing the writing quality of the learners. One of the essential components of literacy is writing skills. To participate in a literate society, students need to be proficient writers. The National Council of Teachers of English and the International Writing Association have stated that there are growing requirements of literacy, specifically the writing skills. This notion seemingly necessitates the needs for the students to be academically successful. However, there is contextually observed that there is generally a lack of writing ability among the students. To address this gap, the researcher aimed at determining the effectiveness of a collaborative learning approach with pop culture materials, specifically the use of popular songs and videos in teaching the writing skills of grade 11 students of a public national high school of the Division of Misamis Oriental. The findings may provide insights into the use of popular culture materials in enhancing the writing quality of the students. Research is mainly focused on, first, the use of collaborative learning approach and pop culture and classical materials towards enhancing the writing quality of the students. And for the writing quality, there are 5 components, namely the content, organization, grammar, diction, and mechanics. This study is pivoted on the concept that the collaborative learning approach with pop culture materials plays a significant tool in enhancing writing quality. It may give opportunities to students to customize their learning tailored to the activities that are accustomed to. This study is grounded from Vygotsky's social constructivist theory of mind, second language acquisition, and learning motivation. These theories explain the theoretical and conceptual foundations of collaborative learning, which have steered the study given that it focuses not only on individual learners' cognitive development, but on the overall development of learners as well. Research design, instrument, participants, validity and reliability of instrument. This study employed a quasi-experimental design in 2 groups, the controlled and the experimental. This research design encompassed the use of control and experimental group in which there is a manipulation of the independent variable that tries to experiment with the causal impact of a particular intervention. Instrument, the researcher conducted an essay writing to gather the data of participants' writing performance. The topic that was used for essay writing was a researcher-made question in which the students would construct a 250 words on the impacts of social media on education. To ensure the instrument validity, the members of the panel and experts in the field reviewed the content. For the writing level of motivation, the researcher adapted the academic writing motivation questionnaire by Ashley Payne from the University of Georgia. This questionnaire aims to assess the students' writing performance in line with the variables of the research. Participants. The participants of the study were students in 2 English classes from grade 11 who were taking humanities and social sciences strand. One class means that the entire number of students received a specific treatment, while the other class administered to the use of classical materials in teaching writing. The researcher conducted the study in a reading and writing subject as it involved varied writing activities. Validity and reliability of the instrument. The instrument underwent content validity and reliability testing. The essay questionnaire has reviewed by the members of the panel and experts in the field to ensure its validity. Cronbach reliability was used to establish the internal consistency of the question and to ensure that the construct of the study is measured. Based on the present study, the writing quality components showed a Cronbach alpha reliability coefficient of 0.82 to 0.91, indicating a high level of reliability. Moreover, through Pearson's correlation, the result revealed that the 3 interrators had a significant correlation of 0.001, indicating that the 3 raters were consistent with their essay ratings. Continuation, ethical considerations, and statistical treatment. For ethical consideration, a permission from the office of the principal of the school was secured to allow the researcher to conduct the study among grade 11 senior high school students. Prior to the conduct of the study, permission to float the questionnaire was obtained from the school principal. Similarly, the participants were asked to sign an informed letter containing information to conduct this study. All information derived from this study were kept with utmost confidentiality and were only used for the sole purpose of the study. For statistical treatment, the data of this study were statistically treated using the following parametric tools. For problem number 1 and 2, descriptive statistics were used such as frequency distribution, percentage, the mean, and the standard deviation to determine the writing performance of each group before and after the intervention. For problem number 3, t-test for paired samples was used to determine any significant difference in the pre-test and post-test ratings of the participants. And for problem number 4, analysis of covariance or ANCOVA was used to determine if there is a significant difference in writing quality increment of both the control and experimental groups. Results. The increment of 2 groups in relation to the components of writing quality are shown in the table. It also discloses the significant difference in the writing quality of 2 groups in terms of their writing quality increment. Hence, the null hypothesis can be rejected. More specifically, it can be drawn in the table that CLA Pop has higher improvement in all components of the writing quality increment as compared to CLA Classical. Overall, based on the F value and P value of each writing component, that the mean increment of participants' writing quality exposed to CLA Pop is effective and significantly different to that of the classical. The prior knowledge and background knowledge of pop culture among participants are vital contributions to the significant performance of those exposed to the CLA Pop. As based on observation during implementation of CLA Pop, participants were engaged to the activity since they can relate to the materials used and motivated to do specific tasks. For motivation, the result shows that the differences in motivation level of participants between the groups are not significant. Thus, the null hypothesis cannot be rejected. In addition, the mean difference in the level of motivation after the post-test in CLA Pop is 0.721, while CLA Classical has 0.55. Based on the data, it entails that regardless of their exposure to both sets of materials, participants have imbibed self-driven attributes in accomplishing specific tasks. Conclusions and recommendations. First, the use of pop culture materials in teaching writing through collaborative learning approach was effective. Second, prior knowledge and background knowledge of pop culture create a learning awareness among students that increase motivation and understanding of the written discourse. And last, the use of collaborative learning as a teaching strategy greatly contributes to students' active engagement in class. This research is recommended to the following. First, to the students that they increase motivation and filter pop culture materials that are relevant to their learning and engage more in collaborative work, which gives them opportunities to develop their writing performance through higher level thinking, communication, self-management, and leadership skills. Second, to the teachers that they adapt pop culture materials in the teaching writing quality as it provides a motivating learning environment in the context of students' interests. To school administrators and academic heads that they provide training and seminars for teachers and academic staff that enable them to enhance their teaching strategies to cope with the new trends of teaching writing skills. And lastly, to the future researchers that they conduct the same kind of research with different samples and conditions to strengthen understanding with the use of pop culture materials in language-related studies and explore the use of pop culture materials and its effects on the academic performance with the use of other learning approaches and disciplines. And here are some of my major references. Insights. Integrating pop culture materials in teaching writing skills through a collaborative learning approach is essential based on the result of this study. Thus, identifying and recognizing students' knowledge of popular culture and be able to collaboratively work with others are essential to help students distinguish the valuable connection between their knowledge and experience. Thank you so much and God bless us all. Once again, I am Mr. Albert Maestre.